Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Sharing My Life. And today I'm going to share with you all how I discovered I could sing. And there's a really good takeaway which I got for myself out of this story, as well as I got a surprise at the end. So I hope that you will wait till the end of this episode. So just to give you a little bit of a history into my singing, for most of my life I never sang as a young girl growing up in India, and that was because, and even as a young girl and even into my adult life, and that's because I had two very powerful singers in my family, my sister and my mom. They're both Western classical opera singers, sopranos, amazing voices. Anyway, so I never sang for most of my life. And, there was also the story that my mom used to tell when I was a young girl that, in the, what was it? Whenever we had friends and family over, she would talk about how when she was in hospital giving birth to me, or after she had given birth, there was this baby in the hospital that used to cry, wah, wah. And when she got home, she would know there was a standing joke amongst the mothers that when they got home, they would know whose baby that was. And of course, when she got home, she knew that that baby was hers, and that was me. And so I kind of concluded from that story that I didn't sing, I actually croaked. So I never sang for most of my life. And then in 2002, my mom and dad came here to visit me, and my sister and brother came here as well. And it happened to be my parents' 40th wedding anniversary time. So we shouted a big party in my home, and we had some friends and family over. And I thought, I'm going to do a bit of a tribute for my mom and dad. And so I rewrote the lyrics to the song, Thank You for the Music, because I love that song. But the first two lines of the song, it was very apt for our, the occasion. Because the first line is, which my brother sang, he said, it goes, mother says I was a dancer before I could walk. And actually my brother is a very well-known dancer, and I was going to say singer, dancer and choreographer. And then Deirdre came in with, she says I could sing long before I could talk. And then my part was, and I have such talent, a wonderful thing, and everyone listens when I start to sing. And I crack on that, and everyone laughs, and it's a real fun thing. And then we come in with a chorus, right? And then we did a repeat of that at my parents' 50th anniversary, which was in Pune. And there were a lot more people at that party, but there was a lot more noise. So I was pretty sure that my mom couldn't hear me, because she's a bit deaf, by the way. So she couldn't hear me, and there was a lot of noise in the room. So I was quite comfortable singing in that environment as well. And those were the only two times that I could remember singing in front of my mom, but not in close proximity. So she couldn't quite hear me. Anyway, in 2015, mom actually came, hey, Andre, I can see a few people here. Hello, I will say hello to you later. Hey, Pia. And anyway, so in 2015, I brought mom over here to look after her stroke. And I figured that one of the things I could do to help her heal was to get in touch with her singing. So one day I walk into her bedroom, and she's lying over there on the bed, and I say to her, Mom, I think you should start singing again. Now, she had stopped singing for a few months after her stroke. And she says, no way, I'm not singing. My voice is gone. I'm not singing. I said, Mom, come on, there's nobody here. It's just you and me. She says, nah, I want you to remember me for my voice that I had. I said, how about I go out of the room? I'll close the door and you sing inside. I think it'll be really good, Mom. And she says, nah, I know you'll have your ear to the door. And I would. so that she didn't buy me on that one. So I said, then she said, anyway, I can't remember the words. I said, I'll bring the karaoke. I'll bring my computer and we put it on karaoke. You'll see the words running and you won't have any problem. And so I think she got that I wasn't going to give up on her. And so she finally said, okay, I'll sing if you sing with me. And I'm like staring at her, because there was this moment where suddenly there was this big flood of fear that came up for me. I'd never sung in front of my mom and so close, one-on-one. And I'm looking at her, there was this pin drop silence, and she's looking and she says, what are you staring at me for? And I said, nothing. I said, let's sing. So I ran into my bedroom, got my laptop before I could change my mind, set up the laptop, and I looked at her and I said, what shall we sing? And she said, we decided that we'll sing Love Story, because I love that song and Mom sings it beautifully. So we start singing as she's sitting on the bed. I'm standing up next to her, I'm holding her hand for moral support. And it's like, you know, roles have suddenly reversed because I'm the mother and she's the child now because I'm trying to encourage her to sing. And I start singing with great gusto. Where do I begin? I'm going to sing for you at the end, so don't worry. Anyway, so, and I start singing and I'm going for hell for leather because I want her to sing. I'm trying to encourage her. And suddenly halfway through the song, she stopped singing. But I didn't even realize it because I was enjoying myself. And when we finished the song, I turned to her and I look at her and she's like staring at me. She's looking up at me like that. And she says, "And who says you couldn't sing?" And I was like, oh my God, my tears are coming to my eyes now because I suddenly got all emotional. And for the first time, my mom, you know, said to me, I felt so validated. And I was like healed in an instant. All my fear of singing went on the wayside. And then you couldn't stop me from singing because every day after that, we sang a song together on karaoke. And it was just amazing. When my mom went back to India, she would sing to me on the song, a song to me every day on the phone. And yeah, it was, and so that's how I discovered that I could sing. Now, the takeaway for me from this whole story was that, you know, in that moment when my mom said to me, "I'll sing if you sing with me," what happened for me was there's this flood of fear that came up on one side. And on the other side was this bigger reason. And the bigger reason was that I wanted my mom to heal. I wanted her to sing so desperately because I thought it would help her heal. So I was faced with fear and a bigger reason. And of course, I chose the bigger reason and my fear went by the wayside. It didn't go away. It was there, but I chose the bigger reason. And so in my life now, what I do whenever I'm faced with fear or I'm feeling stopped in an area, all I do is create a bigger reason for what I want to do. And it helps me not overcome my fear, but take action around whatever that is, which is bigger than me and my fear. And now, are you ready? I'm going to sing that song that I wrote the lyrics to. And I want you to clap from wherever you are, sitting in your room. Okay, first let me see who's over here. Hey, Cookie, Deirdre, and Leroy, and Pia, and Tony, and Orpita, and Carol, and Nicole, and Nikki, and Russell, and Andrew, and Sylvia. Hello, everyone. I know you're waiting, cooks. Okay, so here I go. So the first line is sung by my brother. He's the dancer. And the second line by my sister. And then I come in at the third. So my brother sings. I gotta breathe. Mother says I was a dancer before I could walk. And then my sister comes in with, She says I could sing long before I could talk. And then I come in with, and I have such talent, a wonderful thing. And everyone listens when I start to sing. And I haven't cracked. We're so grateful and proud. I hope you're listening, Mom. All we want is to sing it out loud. So we say thank you, Mom and Dad, for all you've given. Thanks for all the joy it's bringing. We couldn't live without it. We ask in all honesty, where would we be without the love you've given us three? So we say thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving it to me. So we say thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving it to me. Woohoo! I hope you're clapping. Thank you for listening. This has been huge for me. I can't tell you, by the way, I'm completely healed. If I can sing on Facebook, I'm healed. So thank you, Mom. It was a privilege to look after you. And she's right now with my sister and watching me. And I'm going to have a conversation with her pretty soon. Pia, I hope you heard that I can sing. Bye for now and see you all next week.